Everybody's asking. You guys saw the fight, um, Canelo versus Billy Joe Sanders. As usual, I suck at predicting because I always go with the underdog. But the reason um, Billy Joe Sanders lost that fight is the reason people lose fights. They lost fights with Mike Tyson. You know, people got in the ring scared. You can't go in there and fight scared. You can't do that. That's just, it's not going to work because the psychological. Because right away you fight defensive. You get in the ring with a guy who's gets in your head that the guy's gonna beat your ass and hurt you. And guess what? Yeah, you're going to defense. Now, uh, Canelo, if you saw the few rounds that where Billy Joe Sanders was successful, he actually clocked Canelo quite a few times, when he got loose. But the first round and maybe the second, he was all in his shell standing, and he was, waiting for Canelo to do stuff instead of him trying to take the initiative. He was scared. You can't do that. Now, I think it was a legit stop. He had to. Canelo broke his face, broke an orbital, and that's a really serious. Even if it didn't look like a monster, like some of the orbital fractures, uh, but it it was a legit stop. You can't if I want you can't all of a sudden um, keep fighting like that. That's dangerous. It can kill you. You can get bone fragments and all that stuff in there. You can lose the eyeball, a bunch of stuff. It's brutal. So you got to be careful. Um, so there was a legit stop, and it was the right thing to do. But he didn't fight the right fight. You can't, like I say it again. You can't go in, scared. You got to go in cocky with him. Match him for cockiness and get him into his out of his rhythm and play with him. Just like uh, the style of Sanders is flashy and stuff like that. But he did way too much defense because he fought scared. So who can beat him? Well, there's a bunch of guys that can do it. I keep thinking Triple G going up to 168. Um, so it would be a great fight. I know he wants to stay at 160. And Triple G, he as fighters get older, it gets harder for them to make weight. So I think it would benefit Triple G. He wouldn't have to, cut down in weight so much to make it, and that would leave a lot of gas for him to fight. Um, so Triple G definitely will be at the top of my list. People say Mayweather. Mayweather needs to stay out of the ring with anybody who's got that power. Canelo, because if Mayweather's been retired, you don't come out of retirement to fight a monster like that. And let me tell you, in the first fight, they had a catch weight because they had to drain Canelo all the way down to I think it was 152, and he was dead at the weight. If he makes a fight with Canelo, and let's say they say, okay, let's do 160, Canelo will hurt him. Canelo, he's you don't understand that Canelo is not the kid that fought Mayweather back then. It's not. He's a completely different fighter with all kinds of traps and tricks, and he's at the top of his game. Canelo would really hurt Floyd Mayweather. I don't get Floyd May. I think, put it this way: Floyd Mayweather, they make a fight at 160. Okay, Floyd Mayweather is past his prime. He hasn't been active. I don't care how much he's in the gym or whatever. It's not the same as fighting because he hasn't been sparring. That I know of. I don't think he has Mayweather. So all those years of inactivity, and he's older now, and you get him in a ring with somebody who actually breaks people's arms with just arm punches, you know, and I don't even if Mayweather catches Canelo with clean shots to the face and everything, he's not going to be able to hurt him, and Canelo will walk through him and hurt him. And if he, you know, that people don't understand, you know, you can get killed fighting, especially at the anything above 140. You can get killed in the little guys, you know. But the higher the weights, the more thud there's in the punches. And Canelo's a specialist. You hear his punches. He's a brute. So no, it's not going to happen. The people who are at that level, Charlo can take it to him. Dermot Charlo has the talent, the power, and the skills to actually knock out Canelo. You know, to hurt him bad. Anywhere he touches him, full power, Charlo can knock him out. People say Berlanga, Edgar. Edgar Berlanga is too green. Okay, Edgar Berlanga is way too green. Yes, he has brutal power. The Puerto Rican kid who's knocking everybody out. Yes, he's got brutal power, but it's not all about power because, you know, when you get up there and then Canelo starts, doing traps, putting you into traps and bringing it to you, you have to be able to punch between punches and with power now and have experience and have knowledge. I don't think Berlanga is ready. The number one that I think can take Canelo and actually hurt him is Benavidez. Benavidez got the goods. He's really tall. Remember, Benavidez started when he started fighting. I think he started really, really young, but I think he's fought all the way to heavyweight. And then he can go down to 168, and he can actually hurt Canelo. I think that will be the top. The Caleb Plant kid. Caleb Plant kid's got a lot of talent, and he's fast. He's not just flashy. He is really special with the way he moves the angles, and he enjoys the game. Caleb Plant, he enjoys all that shifting that he does, and even in the middle of that shift, he can bring punches out of awkward angles with power. So, and he is actually an actual 168, no natural. Not bulked up, not pumped up. This kid, this is his weight. Caleb Plant. This is the next guy that Canelo's going to fight. So he has been hit with real, very, very powerful shots. You know that it's not that he was. You know, this kid is the real deal. That Caleb Plant. He's got the skills. He's one of those. I don't know what's up. Keeps locking up this shit. I don't know why it does that. It's been doing it for years. People say Artur Beterbiev. Look, Artur Beterbiev. If you look at him, he's at 178. He's in Artur Beterbiev would have to cut an arm off to make 168. He really is a natural 178. Okay, Artur Beterbiev. So I don't have him in that conversation to beat Canelo. So the guy that came out and said that he could. I was just watching a video of Chris Eubanks Jr. Chris Eubanks Jr. got the goods. You know, don't get me wrong, and he can take a punch. He's fast. And now he's being trained by because there was some rumors about him retiring. I don't think so. This guy, Chris Eubank Jr., can put up a hell of a fight, and he's been in some wars. He lost to Billy Joe Sanders in a great fight, I think. But I think, and he's got one of those styles that he can punch in between punches and with awkward, I think he's the best uppercutter in the business. You know, this kid's got an uppercut that he touches everybody with it, and he will. He's got tremendous conditioning, tremendous skill, experience. Chris Eubank Jr. would be a great fight for anybody, but I think at 168, and he wouldn't have to cut much weight. Then, like I said, Triple G. Going up to 168, I don't think he's going to go up there. I think he's going to stay down there. But he's been fighting bums, so that his stock is not really high up there these days. So I'm trying to think who else is up there that can. Danny Jacobs, he's not going to. Yeah, Daniel Jacobs. The last fight. I'm going to be blunt. I would rather see Gabe Rosado fight Canelo than I'd rather see Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs fought. I think Gabe Rosado beat Danny Jacobs the last fight. Okay, that was horrible the way Danny Jacobs fought. So I'd rather see Gabe Rosado fight because he's a warrior. And. That's one of my favorite fighters. He's an underdog always, but he always comes up there and he doesn't care. He'll go for it. And he keeps trying and fighting and trying and staying in shape. So he's a role model to me. This thing keeps shutting off, going. Oh me, I don't know what's up with YouTube. So that's what I think. That's So it's Jacobs. Not Jacobs. Charlo. The number one, I think, is Benavidez. Caleb Plant. Bivol. Dmitry Bivol came out after the fight. Dmitry, the Russian guy. He said, "I can make 168." And that would be a hell of a fight. Dmitry Bivol is not a joke. This guy is a warrior. And he just fought, I think it's Craig Richards or something like that. Is the guy's like really tall, 178. And the guy from Great Britain, he gave him a hell of a fight. He gave Bivol the best fight, Bivol, the toughest fight he's been in as far as trying to score points and stuff against the guy. So, so it would be, Bivol would be one. The Benavidez, Charlo, Chris Eubank Jr. Who else? Yeah, so there's a few guys out there that can. And Zurdo Ramirez. If Zurdo Ramirez, I think he went up to 178, but I'm sure Zurdo Ramirez will go down to 168, which is I think where he was super middleweight for a long time. Zurdo Ramirez, you understand, this guy's tough like a motherfucker, and he got combination. He punches hard. He can take a punch. He's got the Mexican standoff fight. So Zurdo Ramirez will be a hell of a fight. Mexico against Mexico, So yeah, there's a bunch of guys out there, but I keep thinking Charlo can take him and hurt him, So we'll see what happens,